Good day, everyone. We are group number 4, and before we proceed to our topic, let's have a short activity or motivation. For jumble letter number 1, if your answer is questioning, you are correct. And for number 2, if your answer is investigating, you are correct. The next one is, for number 3, we have, if your answer is problem solving, then you are correct. And for number 4, if your answer is critical thinking, then you are right. And for the last number, if your answer is inquiry-based learning, then you are right. And inquiry-based learning is our topic for today. But before that, let me introduce to you my group mates, Baby Amor Malabanan, Crystal Joy Pilar, and I'm Abigail P. Villapando. Going back, let's define first what is inquiry-based learning. When we say inquiry-based learning, it is a student-centered method wherein it fosters skills from questioning, investigating, critical thinking, and problem solving. Meaning, your answers develop through questioning, not from a textbook. So it is more on exploring and discovering from the topic that you are given. And also, inquiry-based learning is an excellent teaching method for science, math, history, English, and business because it is more focused on exploring and discovering on a subject matter. And according to John Dewey's philosophy, that education begins with the curiosity of the learner. That's why we use a spiral path of inquiry. So as you can see at the image, it starts with asking, investigating, creating, discussing, and reflecting. So it is reflecting from the topic that you are given. But how does inquiry-based learning differ from traditional methods?
Inquiry-based learning differs from traditional methods in several key aspects. Students learn first versus teachers and play. Inquiry-based learning, the focus is on the student. The student takes an active role in the learning process by asking questions, exploring topics, and seeking answers, while traditional methods often teacher-centered, where the teacher primary source of information and direct learning process. Like for example, science class. Inquiry-based learning, students are given questions to investigate how does the pH level affect plant growth. Students work in a group to design experiments, collect data, and draw conclusions based on their findings. While traditional methods, the teacher might give lecture on the pH scale and its importance in plant growth. Students take notes and complete a worksheet to demonstrate their understanding. Active participation versus passive learning. Inquiry-based learning, students are actively involved in the learning process. They engage in activities such as research, experiments, and discussions to explore and understand a concept. While traditional methods, students often passively receive information through lectures, reading, and assignments without much opportunity for active participation. Example is history class using inquiry-based learning. Students are assigned research projects on historical events. They conduct a research, analyze primary source, and present their findings to the class. While traditional methods, the teacher lectures specific historical periods, and students listen to and complete quiz based on the lectures. Critical thinking and problem solving. For inquiry-based learning, this approach emphasizes critical thinking and problem solving skills. Students learn to analyze information, think creatively, and solve complex problems through inquiry and exploration. While traditional methods, critical thinking is indeed still important. Traditional methods focus more on memorization and rote learning. Like for example, math class, inquiry-based learning, students presented with a real-world problem such as calculating the optimal route for delivery truck. Students would collaboratively to analyze the problem, apply mathematical concepts, and propose solutions. While traditional methods, in a traditional math class, the teacher demonstrates a problem-solving method and students practice solving similar problems individually or in groups. Teacher role facilitator. Inquiry-based learning. In this approach, the teacher serves a facilitator or guide rather than lecturer. The teacher supports students in their inquiry, provides resources, and helps them develop their understanding. While traditional method, the teacher plays a more central role in traditional methods, delivering content, explaining concepts, and assessing students' learning. Like for example, language arts class. Using inquiry-based learning, the teacher guides students in selecting novels to read independently. The teacher facilitates discussion, provides resources for analyze, and encourage students to explore themes and characters in the novel. While traditional methods, the teacher assigns a specific novel for a whole class to read. The teacher leads discussion, explains literacy devices, and assigns comprehension questions. Student engagement. For inquiry-based learning, students are actively engaged and motivated to learn because they have a personal stake in their inquiries. They are more likely to curious, motivated, and interested in their learning. While traditional methods, student engagement can vary, and some students may disengage if they find the content uninteresting or they feel disconnected from the learning process. Example, geography. Using inquiry-based learning, students choose countries to research and create multimedia presentations on their culture, economy, and geography. Students are engaged in the project because they have autonomy in selecting the country and presenting the writing creativity. While traditional method, the teacher presents lecture on different and students memorize facts about each country for the test. Some students may change if they find content dry or uninteresting. 5 steps for inquiry-based learning. First, questioning. Questioning is the first step in inquiry-based learning, where students generate questions to explore a topic, problem, or concept. This question guides the inquiry process and helps students focus their investigations. Second, planning and predicting. In this step, students develop plans to investigate their question and make prediction about outcome based on their prior knowledge and research. Planning involves outlining the steps to gather data and hypotheses. Third step, investigating. Investigating step involves carrying out planned activities to gather data, conduct experiments, or research information to answer questions posed. Students engage hands-on exploration and data collections. Fourth, fourth step, recording and reporting. In this step, students record their observation, data, and findings from investigation. They organize the information in clear and structured manner and communicate the results through report presentation or other form of documentation. Last step, reflection. Reflection is critical step where students analyze and evaluate their learning process, outcome, and effectiveness on their inquiry. They consider what they learned, what worked well, what challenges they face, and how they can improve in future inquiries.
Now let's proceed. What are the examples activity for inquiry-based learning?
Inquiry-based learning encompasses various forms of inquiry across subjects such as science, history, literature, math, and social studies. In science investigation, students conduct experiments and analyze data to understand scientific concepts, while historical inquiries involve critical analysis of historical events using primary and secondary sources. Literature exploration focuses on interpreting text and engaging in discussion to develop critical thinking skills, and mathematical investigation involve problem solving and applying mathematical principles to real world scenarios. Social studies research delve into societal issues and cultural practices to broaden student perspective on global matter and historical context.
Advantage and disadvantage for inquiry-based learning.
Now let's talk about the advantage of inquiry-based learning. Number 1, encourages curiosity. Inquiry-based learning stimulates student curiosity by encouraging them to ask questions, explore, and discover answers on their own, fostering a genuine interest in the subject matter. Number 2, develop collaboration skills. This approach promotes collaboration among students as they work together to investigate, analyze, and solve problems, enhancing their communication skills and teamwork. Number 3, personalized learning. Inquiry-based learning allows for personalized learning experiences, catering to individual student interests, strengths, and learning styles, promoting a deeper understanding of the materials. And now for the disadvantages. Number 1, time-consuming. Implementing inquiry-based learning can be time-consuming for both teachers and students, as it requires thorough exploration, experimentation, and analysis, potentially impacting the pace of our curriculum delivery. Number 2, resource-intensive. Inquiry-based learning may require additional resources such as materials, technology, and support to facilitate hands-on experiment and research, making it resource-intensive for the educational institution. Number 3, uneven student participation. In some cases, inquiry-based learning may result in uneven student participation, with some students taking a more active role in an investigation while others may struggle to engage fully, leading to the disparities in learning outcomes. And our quotes for today: inquiry-based learning doesn't demand a right answer. It asks for an explanation, by Lina Porter. Thank you for listening.